Hey everyone! Today we're diving into something super intriguing. What social isolation does to our brain. I know it sounds like a topic straight from a sci-fi movie, but trust me, it's all rooted in scientific studies and real-life experiences. Welcome to the channel. So grab your favorite beverage, get comfy, and let's break down the brain science behind being alone. So, first things first, what exactly is social isolation? Unlike loneliness, which is a subjective feeling, social isolation refers to the objective state of having few social contacts or low levels of social interaction. Think of it as a lack of that vital human connection that our brains are wired to crave. And no, it doesn't just mean spending a quiet night at home. Social isolation can come from various factors, like moving to a new city, working remotely, or even prolonged periods of stress. One of the coolest and frankly scariest things our brains do is adapt to our environments. Scientists have discovered that when we're isolated, our brain literally starts to rewire itself. It's like when you spend too much time with one app on your phone and suddenly every other notification seems irrelevant. Did you know? Even a few days of isolation can spark changes in the brain's neural circuitry. Stick around to see how. Alright, let's dig into the science. Research shows that social isolation can lead to changes in the brain's structure and function. One landmark study conducted by Dr. John Cacioppo and colleagues at the University of Chicago found that prolonged social isolation can dampen the brain's reward circuitry. The areas responsible for our feelings of pleasure, like when we share laughs with friends, start to underperform when we're cut off from social interactions. But that's not all. Another fascinating study using functional MRI found that social isolation activates the same parts of the brain that we use to process physical pain. It's like our brains are saying, hey, not being around people hurts just as much as a stubbed toe. Researchers believe this might have evolved as a survival mechanism, forcing us to seek social interaction to avoid that hurtful feeling of rejection or isolation. It's incredible, isn't it? Our brain doesn't treat social rejection lightly. In fact, there's emerging evidence that chronic social isolation can contribute to cognitive decline over time, affecting memory and even decision-making. Scientists are looking at how these changes might even relate to conditions like depression. And while the research is ongoing, one clear takeaway is that human connection isn't just emotionally valuable. It's literally food for our brains. Scientists estimate that the brain experiences social pain in areas similar to physical pain, so that heartbreak you feel when left out is no joke. Personal anecdotes and relatable moments. Let's be real for a second. We all have those moments when the world feels a little too quiet. I remember during my early days of remote work, there were times I'd stare at my screen for hours, missing out on the spontaneous hallway chats and post-lunch jokes. And while I loved the flexibility, the isolation sometimes felt like my brain was slowly fading into a grayscale version of life. I started noticing little changes. My creativity dipped, and everyday tasks felt more tedious. I even read somewhere, a study from Psychology Today, that these changes might be because our brains need diverse stimulation. And when we get too much of the same environment, our neurons can become a bit, bored. It was a wake-up call. I began scheduling virtual coffee dates, joining online communities, and even picking up that hobby I'd long forgotten, sketching. And guess what? Not only did I feel more connected, but I also noticed my creativity and energy levels bouncing back. It turns out Even small doses of social stimulation can re-energize our brains. Even virtual interactions can help trigger the brain's reward system. So yes, your video calls are doing more for you than you think. Broader implications: mental health and beyond. Beyond the immediate brain changes, prolonged social isolation can have broader impacts on our mental health. Research has shown strong correlations between social isolation and conditions such as depression, anxiety, and even cognitive disorders later in life. The underlying science suggests that a lack of social stimulation not only hinders our emotional balance, but might also disrupt critical processes like neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself and adapt. In one compelling study, researchers found that isolated individuals often show increased levels of the stress hormone cortisol. Chronic high levels of cortisol over time have been linked to memory lapses, reduced brain volume, and even the accelerated aging of brain cells. Now, that's a wake-up call for all of us living through extended periods of isolation. Now, before you get too anxious, here's the silver lining. Our brains are incredibly adaptable. Even if you've been isolated for a while, it's never too late to shake things up. Whether it's reaching out to an old friend, joining a club, or simply taking a walk and chatting with neighbors, every little bit of social interaction counts. Studies suggest that even short daily social interactions can help reduce stress levels and improve brain function over time. So, what can you do if you're feeling the pinch of isolation? Here are a few tried and tested tips to boost your social connections and keep your brain happy. Tip 1. Schedule regular social time. Whether it's a quick video call or a text exchange with a friend, make time to connect daily. Tip 2. Engage in group activities. Join online classes, book clubs, or local community events. New interactions spark new neural pathways. Tip 3. Mix up your routine. Try something new, whether it's a hobby, a workout class, or even a different route on your daily walk. Novelty is a major brain booster. Tip 4. Volunteer. Helping others not only boosts your mood, but it also enriches your social network. Trust me, even small steps can lead to big changes in your mental and emotional well-being. And if you ever feel stuck, remember that reaching out is a sign of strength, not weakness. There you have it. Social isolation might change the way our brains work, but with a little effort, we can counteract those effects and keep our neurons firing on all cylinders. If you enjoyed this deep dive into brain science and want to see more engaging content like this, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and drop a comment sharing your own experiences with isolation. Remember, every connection counts. Stay curious, stay connected, and I'll see you in the next video.